קהלת, פרק ז', פסוק כ"ג. כל זו ניסיתי בחוכמה, אמרתי החכמה והיא רחוקה ממני. Shlomo now is going to talk about chokhmah, seeking for wisdom. And he says, Kol zo, all the upcoming things that I'm going to tell you, nisiti bechokhmah. I tested all this in the depth of the wisdom. Amarti ehkema, I said in my heart, ehkema, I'll be wise. I'll be wise. Meaning, if I'll know this, I'll become very smart. But then I found out, vehi rehoka mimeni. It's very far from me to know it and to get the depth of the upcoming things that he's going to tell us. Pasuk Chavdaled Amra.
It says here only for one aspect of the Torah.
We're going to get there in a minute.
פסוק כ"ד, רחוק מה שהיה ועמוק עמוק מי ימצאנו.
רחוק מה שהיה. I tried to go all the way back to the creation of the world and to understand how the world started. And before the world started, going back all the way to the beginning of the creation. But he says, רחוק מה שהיה ועמוק עמוק מי ימצאנו. There is no way. There is no way. And who says that? Shlomo HaMelech. האדם החכם מעל פני האדמה. The one and only one, the person that Torah writes, he was smarter than Abraham Avinu, than Adam HaRishon, than Yosef, even Moshe Rabbeinu. Can you imagine? And that person, Omer, Amok Amok mi yimtzeenu. The depth of the creation and how did it happen and how did it started? There is no way a person can understand. And therefore, Hazal tell us in Masechet Hagigah Aleph that a person should not look because you're just going to get yourself into troubles, into problems, and you'll be a mess. Therefore, from Bereshit and on, ask all the questions. Dwell, learn, be educated. But before the Beit, before the Bereshit, don't go there. Shlomo רצה להיכנס to that section, to that department. הוא אמר, וואו, ועמוק עמוק מי ימצאנו. זה עמוק. The הידיעות, the knowledge, and to get the idea and the understanding what happened before the world was created, it's far. And therefore, don't even go there. Next, Pasuk Chafeh. בכבוד שלמה.
סבותי אני ורבי לדעת ודעתו, מבקש חכמה בחשבון ולדעת רשע, כסל וספירות כוללות.
סבותי אני וליבי לדעת ולתור. He said, and I also went to search yediot, okay, to become smarter, to be more educated, but they were very far from it even to get there. מה הוא אומר? לדעת ולתור ובקש חוכמה. To understand מה חוכמה the reason of mitzvah para aduma. Once again, he called the mitzvah of para aduma. Look at Rashi. Ulvakesh chokhmat parashat para aduma. Do you hear my ketuv? He not only wants to know the mitzvah. Mitzvah, we know the mitzvah of para aduma. But there is chokhmah into it. There is something very wise into that mitzvah of para aduma. And he says, I was searching to know the wisdom behind the mitzvah of para aduma. That's one. Also, he searched heshbon. Rashi explains what is the heshbon? Ketz hageula. When is going to be the end of the redemption? Matai yeh geula. V'omer, I wasn't able to get it, to understand. Once again, he says two things. He was searching to understand, אבל לא הלך, it didn't work. One is חוכמת פרשת פרה אדומה. Second is חשבון, to know when is the קץ הגאולה, מתי זה, the end of the redemption, ולדעת רשע כסל, to know the depth of minut, מין, לדעת את הכפירה, to know מה זה המינות הזאת. We have to understand that today people don't believe in God. They have no education to begin with. אין להם כלום. Atheist. מה זה atheist? סתם טומטם, is dumb, אני לא מאמין. We're not talking about people that they learned, they searched for years, and after learning and searching and finding the truth, it came out that I'm an atheist. זה לא מה שקרה ככה. You have to know that back in the days, היו two yeshivot, two schools. One, קראו לו אפיקורוס. מי זה אפיקורוס? אפיקורוס was a Greek person. יוונים. They taught, they had a school, ולימדו, for 5 years, לימדו all the inyan, the philosophy of כל האמונה, faith, they proved לעצמם that there is no God.
When was this?
אתה מדבר אז, בזמן 1500, 2000 שנה, בזמן האריסטו גם כן היה, during the time of the Aristo היה גם כן הדברים האלו. People, they searched, the same way today you have college and you learn to become a doctor, you learn to become a lawyer, you go to learn to become either ma'amin or lo ma'amin. So Hayach Yeshiva had a school of Apikoros, and they learned there all the opposite Shalai Emunah. And after 5 years, get a degree, Ata Apikoros. Yivantem? Ze haya. And the other way around. Limdu 5 years about faith, about emunah, be'omek, amok. And after 5 years, you come up with a degree, ani ma'amin. Shlomo took that concept to a very deep level. אומר ולדעת רשע כסל, להבין מה קורה שמה, עניין של אמינות, והשכלות והוללות. אומר רש"י, what is והשכלות הוללות? מעורבב ומשועמם שבא. To find out how would I explain? How people are so dumb. Meaning, Adam, his mind, מעורבב. מה זה מטורף? מה זה מעורבב? Is mixed. Shlomo HaMelech, even he went to search how a stupid person, he's stupid. Why is he stupid? Something is mixed. And he was able to talk to a stupid person on his level, that Shlomo was able to, on his level, to have a conversation, communication with him, that he would say, oh my gosh, I'm so dumb and you're so smart. That's how smart was Shlomo HaMelech. שמעת מה כתוב? Again, Shlomo, even the stupidity that HaKadosh Baruch Hu bara ba'olam, he learned. Forget about all the Chokhmah, all the Torah. He knew everything. But another level, he went and he searched even why people are dumb. And let me find out a way to talk to them on their level. Do we get it? Okay. It's very amok. Let's be smart first. We'll find a way to speak to stupid people. But for now, let's continue. Pasuk Chavav, Mitch.
ומוצא אני מר ממוות את האישה אשר הם מצודים בחרמים ליבה אסורים ידיה כל לפני האלוהים ימלט ממנה וחוטא ילכד בה.
וואי וואי וואי. ומוצא אני מר ממוות את האישה. איזה סמייל, איזה חיוכים. מה כתוב פה? Huh?
Don't ask me.
Don't ask you. Okay, I'm not going to ask
I
you.
love my wife.
Huh?
I love my wife.
Good? Keep loving. רבותיי, מה אומר שלמה המלך? What?
My sister said.
רבו ישי, what does it mean, ומוצא אני מר ממוות את האישה? I'm going to read you a Gemara, and then we'll take it a little deeper. You ready? I told you. It's a good class today. Moira ve'Rabbo Yisai, the Gemara Masechet Baba Batra says the following: 10 דברים קשים נבראו בעולם. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created 10 strong, קשים, בעולם. Good, good. Number 1, har kashe, a strong, I don't know, kashe, strong,
Tough, yeah.
tough, hard mountain, rock. That's number 1. זה מאוד קשה. Who could break it? ברא הקדוש ברוך הוא ברזל. You have a metal? ברזל מחתיכו. The metal that's number 2 that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created that could break the mountain. It's a rock. What could break a rock? A metal. Good. 3. Barzel kashe. If you have a strong metal, what could break a metal? Yafeh. Ur. Maze ur? Fire. Ur mefa'pe'on. A fire could melt the metal. So far we have mountain, then we got metal, and then we got fire. What could break a fire? Water. יפה. השם ברא מים. מים מכבים אש. You put the water, what happens to the fire? Huh? Halach. It's gone. So watch this. The fire could melt a metal, and here comes water, shuts off the fire. Let's continue. מים מכבים, מים קשים, יש לך water. מה קשה ממים? עבים, clouds. Clouds, they carry the water. Clouds can carry the water. If you have clouds, who could beat the clouds? Wind, beautiful. יש לך רוח, רוח מפזרתן. רוח מפזרתן. Who could hold a wind? A person. This wind, can hold like Hashem. So your body basically pretty hard. Hashem. That all is you had a paper staff. Yes, ruach, very windy at the mazik, and you're good. You can survive. As a guf kashe miruach. Guf kashe, who can break the body? Pahad. Pahad. You know what happens when a person is scared? Your body, nishba, you break. When the body gets fear, gets so scared, c'est caché. The body is strong. But if you got into a situation, what do? I remember when we were little kids. As a kid, once we took the garbage out. Little kids, 7, pito, a cat, balayla. Meow. Whoa, we got so scared. We ran home. I knew we were so scared. I knew pahad. Nora. My master. Drink wine. Lama. אומרת הגמרא, פחד קשה, יין מפיגו. If a person that got into an attack, פתאום he's so scared, he's afraid, he actually came home, a robber came to him, money alive. He saw the gun. הפחד הזה, what do? אומרת הגמרא, יין מפיגו. Drinking wine, boom, takes away the pahad, takes away the fear. Fair more. Yain kashe. Somebody drinks wine. Wow, shata, Habibi, the guy is in high. What could break him?
Sleep.
Beautiful. אומרת הגמרא, שינה מפחחתו. You go to sleep, sleeping takes away the power of wine. Okay. So far we're good. יש לך יין, יין מאוד קשה. יין קשה, then you got שינה. מה יותר חזק משינה? מה יותר חזק משינה? אתה קפצת. מיתה. death. חביבי, מיתה, מה יותר קשה משינה? is death. Okay? Now, תשמעו מה כתוב פה. So, עד לפה זה הגמרא. But, who brings the death? Who's in charge? Malach HaMavet. So who's stronger than Shina? Malach HaMavet. Now you ready? אומר המדרש, ואישה רעה קשה מכולן. Why? If you have a bad woman, she is worse and she is tough than Malach HaMavet. Avi, you hear this? I mean, you hear.
I don't understand it.
Good. I mean, no, you understand, but yeah, we don't want to get a mess. Baruch Hashem, Yafeh Mod. So, Aboy Sai, I want to teach you something. Abi, can you give me Sefer Mishle in the back? Thank you. תגידו, אני אשאל אתכם שאלה. מה הכוונה ואישה רעה קשה מכולן? Thank you. What does it mean אישה רעה קשה מכולן? It means that she is יותר קשה ממלאך המוות. זה הפשט. שלמה המלך, that's the message you're telling us. I thought it's, something more Shalom Bayit. מה אומר פה שלמה המלך? תדעו לכם, that the Isha over here, it doesn't mean, פשט, it means a woman. אבל זה לא מה שכתוב באמת. אני אגיד לכם למה. שלמה המלך, he has, in the beginning of Sefer Mishlem, he says, I'm going to read the psukim, and you're going to figure it out how everything is connected. Are you ready? אומר שלמה המלך in ספר משלי, פרק ב', העוזבים אורחות יושר ללכת בדרכי חושך. People who drop the smooth path to go in דרכי חושך, a darkness path. השמחים לעשות רע, they're happy to do bad. יגילו בתהפוכות רע, they'll be happy to see bad things happening. ואומר לך שלמה, להצילך מאישה זרה, to save you from a random woman, מנוכריה אמרה החליקה. מה זה מנוכריה אמריה החליקה? האישה הזאתי, a random woman, יש לה פה, her mouth is dangerous. החליקה, she has a very, לא, זה כן,
golden mouth.
golden mouth זה לא הכיוון בכלל, אבל הכוונה יש לה מילים, the way she talks, and boom, she hunts you. העוזבת אלוף נעוריה, she drops her husband, ואת ברית אלוהיה שכחה, כי שחה אל מוות ביתה, ואל רפאים מעגלותיה. כל באיה לא ישובון ולא ישיגו אורחות חיים. כל אורחות, מה כתוב? כי שחה אל מוות ביתה, ואל רפאים מעגלותיה. כל באיה לא ישובון ולא ישיגו אורחות חיים. Hazal tell us, let's understand who is this woman over here. אומר שלמה, יש אישה that יש לה דיבור, she has a very sweet talk, and what she does, she drops her husband and she is hunting men, and אומר שלמה, כל באיה, whoever goes to her, לא ישובון. You'll never be able to turn around and walk out.
Wow.
ולא ישיגו אורחות חיים. They'll never find life whatsoever anymore. So the פשט הפשוט של הפסוק talks about אישה לא צנועה. Correct? Yes or no? אבל הגמרא אומרת, who's that woman? Shlomo HaMelech is not just talking about people who do not nice things, because this happens from the beginning of the world. So nothing changed. He's not talking about her specifically. But who is that woman? Omeret HaGemara, Zu minute. Once you go into this doubt, יש בורא לעולם ואני לא מתחיל להאמין אם אתה מתחיל להיות כופר, once you go there on the wrong direction, תדע לך, it's one way. There is no U-turn ever. There is no U-turn. Do you know about Rabbi Meir's rabbi? What's his name? Elisha ben Abuya Acher. The Gemara says, this person, Rabbi Meir's rabbi, you can imagine, Rabbi Meir's rabbi. Gemara אומרת, Rabbi Meir he was a giant in Torah, that his own friends couldn't even understand his Torah. He was so deep, and when they had an argue, if they went deep up to here, that's where they reached. He went another 100 feet down. They couldn't even reach the bottom to what he says. That's how deep and that's how smart was Rabbi Meir. Let's go. His rabbi, Elisha ben Abuya, you can imagine, איזה גאון היה בתורה? איזה גאון היה? His brain, his mind was huge. And at the same time, he went off the derech. שואלת הגמרא, how is it possible? Masechet Hagiga, please. Thank you. The Gemara says, how is it possible that a person like Elisha ben Abuya, that he was Talmid Hacham, it's not even a question that he was. Thank you. How come he became off the derech? Ma kara? What happened that he went off the derech? And the, yeah. אומרת הגמרא, you want to hear why? חגיגת ט"ו עמוד ב', תשמעו מה כתוב. אומרת הגמרא, the Gemara says, how come Elisha ben Abuya went off the derech? And the Gemara says an amazing answer. אומרת הגמרא, בשעה שהיה עומד מבית המדרש, הרבה ספרי מינים נושרים מחיקו. When he would get up from the yeshiva, from the class, pitome you see, oops, a book dropped down. You go ahead and you open the book, Hashem Yishmo. מינים. ספרי מינים אומרת הגמרא. Meaning, when he went to the Beit Midrash, he went in with the books in his pockets. והיה לומד תורה. What kind of Torah he had? Mixed with minut. Now you wonder how he turned to become a hell. You know why? Because when he came to learn, his mind was not 100% pure. He came to the Bet Midrash with a filthy mind. His mindset, his thoughts, Melechatchila wasn't kosher. So you're learning about fasting on Yom Kippur. But I don't believe in Olam Haba anyway. So what is? And he's going to give you a whole class about Yom Kippur and Sha'ul, Shel Kazait, Kotevet is going to teach you about all the halachot and all of them. But inside his heart, he doesn't believe in Olam Haba. So what type of Torah is he learning? And then he comes and he gives you a whole 39 melachot of Shabbat and Hilul Shabbat. And if it's shogeg, you have to bring korban. If it's mizit, at the hayav po skila. And if it was mizit with no witnesses, karet. And it's going to give you the whole topic of karet. But inside his heart, he doesn't believe in karet to begin with. So that chokhmah is chokhmah hitzonit. It's outside. His inside is not there. His inside, lo sham bichlal. Rabotai, Adam שרוצה that his Torah should suck in. If you're not a vessel, the Torah is not going to go in. And the vessel is Yirat Shamayim. Mi sheyesh lo Yirat Shamayim, every drop of water is going to stay in. If there is no Yirat Hashem, if you not fear God, the whole Torah, it doesn't mean anything. You know why? It's like if you have a cup, it's full up to here with water. Whatever water you're going to pour in, what's going to happen? Nothing more. That's exactly. When there is no Yirat Shamayim, so it's full. Whatever you're going to put in, everything drops out. There is no Yirat Shamayim. There is no Yirat Shamayim. A person can learn Hilchot Shabbat, Masechet Shabbat. And guess what? He knows the halachot, he learned the topic during the week. When it comes Shabbat, and that specific question comes up, he doesn't follow the halachot. It's okay. That's you missing the Yirat Shamayim. All the Torah that you learned the whole week will never going to stay. Never. Maybe it's going to stay here in memory. That's it. But as far as is the Torah going to sink in you? Not at all. What? Why? You're missing Yirat Shamayim. Yirat Shamayim. What?
What's the definition of Yirat Shamayim?
Fear of God.
That fear of God or fear of punishment? Two different things.
It's okay. Let's start with the punishment and then we're going to go ahead to Hashem. But at the end of the day, if I fear Hashem, and here comes Hilchot Shabbat, and here I have a question of Hilchot Borer. I have a question. I'm not so sure. You have two options. Either do it or no. Let me open the halacha. Open the book. Find out. It'll take you 3 minutes. You're going to find the halacha and do it. But guess what? You open the book. You search and you find out it's not allowed. And you're not going to do it. Guess what? From now on, you're never going to do it because you know the halacha. You search, you find out it's not allowed. You're not going to do it. But if you have the option, and it's okay. I'm a nice guy. Atarat Nadarim. What does this has to do? Who cares? Shtuyot. But he just, that's how he lives. I give tzedakah. Gam tov. Habibi, et halakha אתה לא יודע, and you're not going to keep the halakha. So how in the world that chokhmah is gonna download it in your heart? Never.
It's not tainted.
Meaning?
A guy keeps Shabbat just because he doesn't want karet. It's not tainted. He's living his life doing halachot, but at the end of the day, it's only because he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to die. Every day he sits down on Shabbat. He sits as a stick. He doesn't do what he's supposed to do. He does what he's supposed to do.
No. Baruch Hashem. We love Shabbat. We enjoy Shabbat. We love food of Shabbat with the class and the kids and everything. But here we go. If you learn what is Shabbat, what Shabbat gives you, what Shabbat does to you and your family and your kids, whoa, how far you reach. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the same way, he says to us, Shabbat, the punish of Shabbat is so harsh, the reward of Shabbat is so big. Ba'olam hazeh. Ba'olam hazeh. Now, im yesh Yirat Shamayim, I'm not talking about punishment, period. If I want to serve God, I want to serve the way He wants me to do. If somebody orders an item from you, okay? I want item HY number 66. And you set them a different order. What does it mean?
Wrong order.
Fair enough. Well, who cares?
He's going to return it in 2 days.
Exactly. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to be with Him. Shabbat. It's something so special and it's so unique. But to get the bond of Kedushat Shabbat, of what Shabbat does for us, this is the rules that you should do. Don't do 39 melachot. If you do, you're going to lose out. That's not the order. Return back. Take it back. זה לא השבת שאני הבאתי לך. So now let's go back to our topic. Shlomo HaMelech Omer, and watch this. Do you know why Elisha ben Avuya went off the derech? Because when he learned, it wasn't a pure Torah. It was before the Torah in his bag, Haya already apikosut, Haya already minut. Whatever you're going to fill in, it's not going to stay. Because the base, the foundation is missing the whole Yirat Shamayim. And that's why he became off the derech. Rabotai, Omer Shlomo HaMelech, do you know who is Umotze ani et ha'isha mar mimavet? Do you know who is the Isha? Ze minut. Ze kfira. Omer Shlomo Umotze ani mar mimavet et ha'isha. Omer Rashi, the last word. Berashi, Pasuk Chavav. Ma Omer Rashi? Zu. You have it, guys?
Yeah.
Zu. Oh, you have a pikosut? Yafeh. Okay, I have a minut. Yafeh. It's the same thing. So, הפיקורסות, someone שהוא כופר, someone שהוא אפיקורוס, you should know אפיקורסות, it's called a woman. And why? Because once you go into it, it's dangerous. Because from then on, everything you'll do, you can have doubt. And once you can have doubt, what I'm putting tefillin. Do I believe in it? No, it just becomes a box. And everything in your life, once you start going to that direction, once you reach to that place of minut, Hashem Yishmor, Omer Shlomo HaMelech, תדע לך, אשר היא מצודים וחרמים ליבה. It's like a net. Once you got there, it's like a net. It takes you, it catches you, you're being trapped. And now Mo Kotev, Asurim Yada, he ties your hand, Ve Hote Ilached Ba. You cannot run away from there. And you're going to get stuck. And once you get stuck, Habibi, it's almost impossible to get out from that place. And therefore, you have to be very careful to what books you read. What books you read.
So that's the source of Abdikosut. What's where you get your
Don't go there.
information?
Don't go there to begin with.
Be careful where you get your information.
Badai.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a story. I believe it was about 9 years ago. I had a wedding in Mexico, so I went. And I went to meet a wonderful rabbi, Rabbi Shmuel Badush. He's Rosh Yeshiva over there. What a rabbi, what a wonderful rabbi. As I'm sitting with him, he tells me a very sad story. What's the story? That there is in town a woman that she is divorced, she has a kid, and the husband wants him to be in public school. I mean, there is what's so terrible about it. The terrible is that he was in the yeshiva. He was a yeshiva boy. And he was also in Kohelet. And he dropped everything and he became epikuros. How? Because of internet. Not he went to watch dirty things. It's because he was reading sites and places where just took away his Yirat Shamayim, put him in him doubts. He doesn't believe in anything. A person that he was in a yeshiva. He dropped religion. He dropped his wife, and he wants his son to be in public school. What is yeshiva? Did you hear such a story? The internet, what he read, turned him off. And he dropped everything. אבל מה, באמת, 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 הוא היה, if I remember correctly, it's not that he was born religious.
Something over there.
היה בדיוק. הוא התחזק. When he was a certain age, he went to yeshiva and then he flipped. מה שאני רוצה להגיד לכם is, שלמה המלך אומר, once you go there, it's so dangerous. צריך לדעת, when you bring books home, when you read books, people bring magazines, what type of articles you read, what type of things you read, your kids read. You know how dangerous is it? Why? Because it takes people so fast. It's a matter of time. But once you're missing that inside, אומר שלמה המלך, וחוטא ילכד בה. Once you're started, ילכד, you'll be trapped, and there's no way, there's no way going out. That's how dangerous. Yes. Get a question.
What do you do with the kids that read these stuff?
You don't bring it home. What's the question?
The cell phone is even worse to me.
Who gives the kids cell phones? I don't understand.
Kids don't have cell phones. They
Huh?
don't watch these books like Harry Potter.
College.
We never had those books at home ever.
מה עם החברים שלו? לא יודע,
Haverim? What type of school is he in?
just because he goes in a good school, that doesn't mean
What
everything's
is good school? That's the difference between you and I. The definition of good. What is good? A nice building?
Rabbi, the school tells these kids to read certain books for projects and stuff.
The school that I went, I want to tell you something. They gave us, the government's required you have to read science, right? The school, before they brought these books, the English principal, he would read through the whole book. In anything that has to do with kfirah, they had a black marker and it should cross. So the world is 15 billion years. Cross.
Oh, nothing.
Yes. All this, everything that has to do, that it can interfere with what the school teaches, they crossed out.
What do I do if the school doesn't do that?
It's a problem, but at least you teach the kids. This is goyim, and that's not us. This is our belief. Okay?
Belief or knowledge. This is
Zeh
what we don't know.
emunah. Wadai.
They don't know.
Okay.
No, we have to make it like it's totally wrong.
Look, if they say it's 15 billion years, and I say it's 5,000 years, he agrees that it's 5,000, right? So with the 5,000, we have no problem. With the 5,000, he also agrees it's 5,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he agrees with me. Now I disagree with the 15 million. So one thing I know for sure, with my number, nobody disagree. All right. So no matter what, it's a
We
win-win.
don't have chokhmah like you.
All right. That's why you're here. So it's a double win. No matter what, I'm right because you also agree with my number. I disagree with your number. So you go find out, but I'm sure that this is my number. Thank you. Yes.
Instead of hiding it from the child, instead of teaching him, okay, it says 15,000 years, whatever it is, the world is there. At the end of the day, it's up to the teacher to teach it to him the right way.
No.
Because if you're going to hide it from him, eventually he will find it out from somewhere else.
Habibi, everything comes from the house. Number one. Stop here. If a kid comes home and he hears from his parents, this teacher, something is off. Do you know what happens to that kid from that day? He cannot accept anything from that teacher because his parents did not lift up the image of the teacher. The opposite, they took him down. Who has the power to take somebody and to make a role model in the kids' eyes? The parents. when we take players, football players, basketball players, and we put the pictures in his bedroom, that becomes his heroes. Or if I take pictures of rabbis and put in his bedroom on the house, that becomes his heroes. That's number one. Number two, the way you teach your kids. I don't have to put the teachers down. I don't have to teach them. But number one, I have, from the beginning, I have a school that I pick, that I know this is the school that they're going to teach my son the 100% emunah. Anything that this, that will interfere, it doesn't become there to begin. It doesn't enter the building. That's one. Second, and let's assume your kid is in a certain school that they don't have this. Well, you teach your son, this is the goyim, and this is what we do not believe in it to begin with. And you don't have to hide, but also there's a certain age that you don't teach.
There's a limit to it.
Okay, you don't teach kids at a certain age things that you shouldn't know.
So what I'm saying, I'm talking about whatever he's learning at that moment.
Yes.
So the way you're saying, you shouldn't hide, but you're saying the school.
I'm not saying you shouldn't hide, but if you're a kid in a certain school, I cannot tell you what to put the kid. But me, myself, I know what type of hanuch I want. I know what type of school I want for my son. And I know what type of education I want him to know. So if I have the right choice, I'm not going to regret. But if I put my son in a place which I might going to cause him into troubles, it's a big problem. I'm not going to mention names, but there is schools here here that if you put your kid into that school, know from the beginning. Don't expect anything that one Shabbat, your daughter picks up the phone on Shabbat because they teach it's okay. It's not like electric. And to text on Shabbat, it's okay. I'm not writing. If you put your kid there, know from the beginning that you're putting this, your kid in danger. But it's your choice. It's your choice what type of school do you want your kid to be there. Now, if that's the case, once the kids turn to a certain age and then the parents flip, that's your choice. Now you have to talk about it. You have to sit down with your kids when they do homework. What are you doing? What are you learning? What is this? Mapitom. That's not true. Now you don't have to bash the teacher, but you can say, well, your teacher doesn't know. You scan. הוא מסכן. מה?
אתה יכול להגיד דבר כזה.
כי זה אמת, הוא מסכן, הוא לא יודע.
בבית ספר למדו אותנו שעץ הדת היה תפוח, אבל אתה אומר שזה לא.
I don't know what school.
I'm sure every school here told everyone that the עץ הדת was an apple tree.
זה בא מהגויים, by the way. בגמרא, because number one, עץ הדת, by the way, לא כתוב. Even the Gemara brings 3 opinions, whether it was hita or fig or a grape, a trog. It's okay. You want to add up to an apple? I don't mind. But I don't teach lo haya adam harishon. זה ההבדל. With the etzatat, if it's an apple or a trog or an orange, I can deal with that. זה קטן עלינו. But I'm talking where it comes in a של כפירה. כשיש כפירה, that's a big issue. הבנתם? אומר שלמה המלך, וחוטא יילחד בה. תודה רבה.